We have the latest on the WWE White Rabbit teases and what they could mean. A strap match has been added to WWE Extreme Rules, and the AEW talent contacted by WWE has been revealed. Stay tuned for the news. We're going to kick things off today with more WWE White Rabbit teases. Now, if you have been living under a rock the past week, WWE is doing something very, very unique in the fact that they're doing an ARG. An actual ARG.
Yes.
Where, you know, we've tried to look into it. We've got a video up on the channel right now that we look in at all the WWE White Rabbit teases so far, but there's been even more since then. The latest White Rabbit tease is a QR code from last night's SmackDown. Now, Sam, do you want to explain? It was leaked before the show.
Yeah, so the thing with ARGs is, if you don't know what they are, it's sort of like an alternate reality thing. So like imagine a different universe kind of converging with yours in like a weird way. So it might be a mysterious link that leads you to a place where there might be a USB stick that you take home, you put into your computer, there's another clue that points you to another site, and it's like going down a rabbit hole. So the thing was, there was this mysterious leak to Reddit from a user.
It's called Smashed Black.
Smashed Black.
Their account was created purely for this post.
Yeah, this was the only post, and it was kind of like, here's the latest White Rabbit tease. And it took you to a link, which was like www.com/feed your head.
Feed your head, yeah.
And then you would guide a white rabbit through a maze toward a red door, avoiding fire. And when you got the rabbit to the door, the rabbit would then go through the door, and then you'd be greeted with a black screen with the rabbit in the middle of it, coordinates at the bottom, and originally the word coal in all capital letters.
Yeah.
Then what happened was, after a couple of hours, the link kind of died. And then there was another update on one of the Reddit threads about it, saying that it had been changed out for the word patricide. And then the link went down, and then the link changed to an image of a man in a big yellow chicken suit. And then the link went down again, and then the QR code popped up in the background of Raw. And I guess, you know, again, it's hard to see whether this is being leaked, like, you know, maliciously or deliberately, but, you know, if it is an ARG, this tends to be how it goes. It's very kind of like, it's very leaky. There's like sort of breadcrumbs everywhere, little things and clues change. Like, it's all about paying very close attention to things.
It's all the little details. And that Reddit user also posted this morning and has since deleted their account.
Yes.
Which makes me think it is actually intentional.
I think because having these little tidbits gets people excited, and then they're going to be extra hard looking for the QR codes. Because last night it was like, okay, we've had this one before the show. Let's scan this one. Yeah. It's like, okay, it's the same one, but it could have been different. So this is the thing, is like, whenever you see codes now, it's like, quickly scan them, quickly pause.
I guess it also gets out ahead in case anything does leak, and being like, no, it was different while on the show, and it was changed, it was a different word. People, even if it leaks, they can easily twist and change.
Yeah, and both words may be necessary. Sometimes you'll find that you're given a code. There was one for 9 Inch Nails, had a very good one in like 2007.
My favorite was Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain.
Oh,
that was a great one. But the one that was leaked this morning is supposedly the one that's going to come out soon. I imagine probably Monday for Raw.
Yeah.
It says it's a game of tic-tac-toe on a black and white checkerboard with the player, us, being the red hearts. Obviously, it's going to be Natalia. With the opponents being a purple club.
Yes.
Purple club. It's Finn Balor.
Well,
but after winning the board game, it then turns into a riptide pulling the rabbit away. And then, as I said, the Reddit user has deleted their account.
Well, either way, the words coal and patricide could be both important. They could both be passwords if it evolves into one of the really mental ARGs. But the coordinates themselves that appeared through the QR code, they just came up with like a long string of them. They point directly to the arena for next Monday's Raw, right? How rude, Fraser!
I know, right?
Oh my God. Shameful behavior. They point to the venue for next Monday's Raw. So this coming Monday's Raw. So fingers crossed there may be another clue there. There may be something else. But if it is an ARG, it's going to be more of a long haul thing, usually for a couple of months rather than just like a 2-week deal.
It really builds it up, because I think a lot of people were expecting maybe someone to appear on SmackDown last night. It wasn't the case. We just got more teases. I'm happy with that. It keeps us guessing, keeps us interested, and that's kind of, WWE's been good at that recently, keeping us interested.
And it's an actual mystery to solve. It's quite cool.
But hopefully there is a really good payoff, and it's is worth all this.
It is all pointing, though, as you said, toward the Judgment Day with things like, patricide, riptide, potentially
Demon
next
being
one,
spelled
Demon
in
being
the
spelled.
first one.
Could it be Bray still linked in with them? Only time will tell, but...
Well, I really like it, but speaking of things that I also really like is this rematch between Sheamus and Gunther. Oh my God, it was announced.
Why would you go back for more abuse? I don't... His poor chest.
Oh my God, his chest was just crimson. It was just red, and it's Sheamus, so he's very, very white. And seeing his chest like that is horrible. But it was announced ahead of SmackDown that Sheamus will once again challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship on the season premiere episode of SmackDown on October 7th, so 2 weeks.
Yes.
2 weeks' time. That's going to be a good match.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic match. It's a good sort of, I think it's like a good match for a big, fun feel night. It's going to be a nice, hard-hitting affair. And hopefully they're going to go as hard as they did, at Clash. And at the same time, the season premiere thing, they always kind of stack the show a little bit because it is sort of important to the TV network. It's not so much going to mark any sort of change in WWE, like season-wise or anything. It's just going to be, like a big celebratory night for SmackDown as a brand on, everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be a brutal affair, so strap yourself in. But speaking of straps, we're moving over to another match at Extreme Rules. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross has been announced as a strap match. Oh, Sam, tell me a little bit about what happened on SmackDown.
So we had McIntyre issuing the challenge on the show, with Kross attempting to attack Drew after the segment. However, Drew managed to fight back and hook Kross to the strap. Scarlett then made the save by shooting a fireball in McIntyre's face before giving him a low blow. Finally, Kross choked McIntyre out with the Kross jacket before accepting the challenge. If you go back even to Clash, we had Scarlett there just lobbing drinks at him, and it should be a nice match, I think. The thing with strap matches is they can go one or two ways, but the fact we've got Drew and Kross attached to each end of it makes me think this is not going to suffer those problems.
No, it's just going to be big boys
brutal.
Brutalizing each other.
It's just going to be a lot of blokes hitting each other with a big leather strap.
I'm not a massive Karrion Kross fan, but this feud has actually interested me.
Leaves his phone on loud. Not even a Karrion Kross fan.
Not even a Karrion Kross fan. What is he even doing here? I know, right? I should just leave.
Comments.
But yeah, I'm not the biggest Kross fan, but this feud has got me interested in him, and this match has got me really excited. We know Drew can perform really, really well. We know Kross can, and
especially so when he's not done up like a gladiator.
They're actually, presenting him correctly. So strap match will be really exciting between the two. Who do you think is going to win this one, though? It's tough to call.
I think Kross needs it. It'll be a shame to see Drew lose kind of so concurrently, but I think Kross, there's a lot of hype around him in my head too. I'm really sort of excited to see where this is going to go. We've got, the chains are all off. It's time for actual unrestrained Karrion Kross. I'm all about that. So fingers crossed it'll be Kross, but at the same time, I don't really exactly want to see Drew lose. But
that's the thing.
It's just,
Drew's had a fair amount of losses recently. Well, coming off Clash at the Castle, losing to Reigns, that's quite a big loss, and having him lose
unless
to
Drew
Kross
wins the first encounter and it becomes something slightly more. It could become like a series of matches maybe, but
I mean, it'd be quite exciting. Them in Crown Jewel as well. That would make sense having a rematch there. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that storyline. But we're going to round things out today because we've got an update on the AEW talent that WWE has reached out to. Now, this is quite a big story because there's a lot of legal ramifications with contract tampering.
It's contract tampering. AEW's team have apparently reached out to WWE regarding it. It was very much a, hey, stop doing it, kind of situation. So,
well, Fightful Select have reported that WWE recently reached out to numerous AEW talents about returning to the company. One of the names that was reported originally was Malachi Black, who we have seen recently request his release from AEW and was reported to have been granted a conditional release with a very large non-compete. We would assume to stop him from going to WWE. But alongside Black, FTR were reported to have been spoken to. Obviously, they were quite a big part of Triple H's NXT.
Yeah, just a little bit.
They were his boys.
Just a little bit.
And WWE's tag division is improving. It's not at the same level as AEW, I would say, but maybe having someone like FTR
they'd certainly be a shock return that I think it would go over really, really well with the audience.
Of course. And finally, Swerve Strickland was another name that WWE sort of supposedly tried to get back, alongside. Hit Row, his former stable, returned fairly recently without him. Obviously, he's an AEW, former tag team champion now. It would have been interesting to see him come back, but looks like it's not going to be the case.
Well, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? But ultimately, it's hopefully going to lead to maybe a different hit row with maybe a different end result, because it felt very much like Swerve was the main person there. So maybe hit row without Swerve, it's going to be sort of a different story altogether. And hopefully in AEW he's going to be able to carve some interesting stories. And I'd never say never. He's somebody I can definitely see coming back.
I'd love
one
to
day,
see him come back. Although he's been fairly critical online of his time in WWE. He's really, I think he said the other day something about his 3 months in AEW have washed away the 3 years in WWE, where he's never been happier. But Fightful also notes that a source told them that WWE reached out to one AEW original talent back in August, and noting that they were told that people would be surprised to learn who it was. Now, this is going to just be speculation here from us. Who do you think it is, Sam? Who would surprise you the most that WWE would reach out to? As an
Tony
AEW
Khan.
original. Imagine it was Tony Khan.
I think, they've surely reached out to all of the EVPs at some point in the past. They... AEW original?
The one that springs to mind, Darby Allin for me.
Darby Allin, but I'd expect them to go after Darby Allin. Maybe Billy Gunn.
Yeah, get Billy Gunn back.
Yeah,
I guess
he's an AEW original. I never heard of him before.
Exactly, he's the ass man, or the ass boy's dad. But we're finally rounding things off. This is an adjacent story to this one. Ryan Frederick of the Wrestling Observer reported on the message boards that Bobby Fish was trying to get Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole to request their release to go back to WWE as a group, and both of them said no.
Well, I think people are always going to want to see an Undisputed Era reunion of sorts. At
Bobby
some
Fish more than
point.
many people.
Bobby Fish clearly is one as well. But I think, it's one of those things where I guess once people move across to another company and there's new creative involved and people are kind of off doing their own thing, then it's unfortunate, but again, it's hopefully going to lead to some more new, interesting territory being covered by these talents, and Bobby Fish breaking out alone in, doing his own thing. I'm
for that?
I'm
cool.
for
Well,
that, yeah.
Fredericks also wrote, it's possible Cole may have clued Tony in, speaking about the contract tampering.
Yeah.
And if he did, or Fredericks notes, if he did, he doubts he was the only one, as he thinks Swerve was also one of the people that went and spoke to Tony and went, by the way, WWE wants me back.
Well, yeah. You kind of got to have those conversations though, don't you?
Absolutely. But that is all the news we have for video 1. We will be back for video 2 later on this afternoon. Have a nice Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
Enjoy it. It's raining here. Oh, get one foot in the grave on.